Good morning, Year 4. Today is the Thursday, the 4th of February, and this is for children who have the Year 4 Maths Workout book. We'll be looking at page 19 today, so we're going to be revisiting estimation. And your learning question for today is, can I revisit and recap estimation? Okay, so we're going to have a go at estimating today. And we're just going to revisit what we were looking at yesterday. But before we start, I've just got a warm up for you. You need to figure out which one is the odd one out. So I've got three statements and you need to figure out which one is the odd one out, okay? So there are 10 teams with 7 players on each team. There are 10 red flowers and 7 yellow flowers. There are 7 tens frames with 7 counters in each. So I'm going to have a go, try and figure out which one the odd one out is, email in your answer, and the first person to email in with the correct answer will get themselves a Marvellous Me shout out. Okay, so give it your best shot and let me know what the answer is. Okay, so hopefully you've given it a go for your warm-up question and you have emailed in your answer. So we're looking at for question 1 now in the booklet. You need to circle the best estimate for each of the measurements below. Now, you've got two choices. You've got the length of a pencil and you've got the weight of a dog. And you've got 3 measurements for each one, okay? So your first choice for the pencil is 2 millimeters. Your second option is 20 meters. And your third option is 20 centimeters. So, looking at those 3 choices, I suggest that you use a ruler to look at the length of 2 millimeters and 20 centimeters. Now, you all know what a meter stick looks like. A meter stick is a really long stick, and a lot of you were using meter sticks before Christmas and you were having a go at measuring different shapes around the classroom. So you all know how big a meter stick is. And if you think of a pencil, how long do you think a pencil should be? Okay, so you're going to look at the 3 choices that you have got in your book and you're going to draw a circle around the one that you think is right, okay? Now your second one is the weight of a dog. Now we haven't really looked at weight yet, so I'm going to write down the different options that you've got and I want you to have a think about the size of a dog in real life. So this dog is a Labrador and it'd come up to about Miss Prince's knee because Miss Prince is quite short anyway. So Labradors are going to be quite big dogs. Okay, so think about how heavy a Labrador or just any dog in general might be. So your choices for the weight of a dog are 30 grams, 30 kilograms, and 3 grams. Now, 30 grams and 3 grams are smaller than 30 kilograms. Okay, so there are 1,000 grams in a kilogram. So there are actually 30,000 kilograms for the 30 kilogram measurement. Okay, so have a think very carefully. How heavy do you think that dog would be? And draw a circle around the best estimate. Okay, so give it a good go. If you are struggling with this, it is fine, don't worry, because we've done estimating before. You've all had to go at estimation before, but we haven't looked at weight. Okay, so don't worry if you're not quite sure about the one where you've got to decide on the weight of the dog, but just give it a good go, okay? Okay, so hopefully you've had a go at question 1. We're going to move on to question 2 now. And question 2 is asking you to round the numbers to the nearest thousand. Now, you all know that Miss Prince really loves rounding, and you did lots of work on rounding way back in September and October. So hopefully you will be superstars at doing this task, okay? So let's see how we get on. Now, I've written behind me something to help me to remember what I need to do if my digits fall between two numbers. So if you know the rhyme, can you say it with me? 529, climb the vine. 024, slide to the floor. Fab. So I've left that up there as a reminder for you to remember where you need to round if your digits fall into those two different sets of numbers, okay? So, the number that I'm going to look at today with you before you go on to answer the rest of the questions is 5,643. Now, I need to round to the nearest thousand. Now, when I round to the nearest thousand, I need to look at a certain column in my place value chart. I need to look in my hundreds column, okay? And I can see I've got 600s. So I have 600s in my hundreds column, and I need to use the little notes that I've written on my board to help me to decide whether I need to round up to the nearest thousand or down back to 5,000. So say the rhyme again with me. 529, climb the vine. 024, slide to the floor. Now I can see that I have the number 6. I know that 6 is one more than 5. So that must mean that I am going to be rounding up. Okay, so I know that I need to round 5,643 to 6,000. Okay, so you've got 4 questions there where you need to round to the nearest thousand. I would make sure that you write somewhere on your book, on a piece of paper, on a whiteboard, somewhere that you can see very clearly the rhyme that we use to help you to remember whether we round up or down. Okay? Now, I would also recommend that you lay it out like this, as I have, where I've labelled my thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones, and you can identify which place value bracket, which place value section, which number, which digit you need to be looking at when you are rounding. Okay, so give it a really good go, year 4. Pause the video, have a go, press play when you are done. Okay. Okay, so hopefully you've had a really good go at the first 2 questions. Our third question is estimating the answer to a number sentence. Okay, so you've got an addition, 2 subtraction questions, and then a division question in part 3. Okay, now I'm going to have a go at doing an addition one with you. Now, I've had a look at the other number sentences, and I think if you pardon me, choose to estimate between either to the nearest 100 or 10, depending on what you think is right, that's fine, okay? Because it's just asking you to estimate an answer. So I'll have a go on the board with this number sentence behind me, and then I want you to have a go on your own at the other 4, okay? So my number sentence is 213 add 134. Now I think I'm going to round to the nearest 10 for this one. So I can see straight away that my first number ends in a 3. So that means I need to keep it in the same 10 that I have. So I can see that I've got 110, so it's going to stay at 210. Okay, so it's going to be rounded down to 210. So moving on, I can also see that I've got 134. Now I know straight away that 4 falls between 0 to 4. So I'm still going to be rounding down. So I'll be rounding down to 130 because I have 3 tens. Okay? So I can see straight away there, 210 add 130 is 340. Okay? Now, if you wanted to round to the nearest hundreds, you would round down, so you would get 200 add 100, which would make 300, okay? So you just need to choose whether you're going to round to the nearest 10 or 100 for this one. I would recommend to the nearest 10 because you'll get a more accurate estimate, okay? So give it a go, try your best. Have a look at the one that we've just done together to help you. If you are still stuck on this question, please send me an email and we'll try and get back to you as soon as we can, okay? Okay, so hopefully you've had a really good go of question 3. For question 4, we've got to rewrite our number sentences. Now, I know that you're all fabulous at using the inverse. We all know that the inverse means the opposite of one of the 4 operations. So we know that multiplication is the inverse of division, division is the inverse of multiplication, we know that addition is the inverse of subtraction, and we know that subtraction is the inverse of addition. So you're all superstars at recognising what the inverse is, because I think that's a really tricky word for year 4. So you've done an excellent job to understand what the inverse is, because we were looking at that last week. Okay, so question 4 is saying, for each of the questions below, write a new calculation that uses the same number. Now, I've got the first one on the board, so Miss Prince has been a little bit sneaky, and you can use this one for your first answer. Now, I know you'll whiz through this part. I've got no worries about this one because you're all fabulous at using the inverse anyway. So, in your book, it does actually show you the symbol that you need, okay? So it shows you here that you're using these symbols to begin with, but then you go and use the inverse, and we know what the inverse is, okay? So I'll very quickly rewrite this. You need to tell me whether it's right or not, okay? I think I've got that right. I don't know if I am or not though, but I think I'm pretty certain that that is what the question's asking me to do. Now, I can check whether I'm right or not by looking at my answer over this side, so I can check whether or not my answers are supposed to be the same. Because if you're rewriting the number sentence and you don't have the same number twice, then you're going to need to rewrite the number sentence out correctly, okay? So what has Miss Prince done here that isn't quite right? She's written the answer for this one again when she's changed the representation of the number sentence. That's not right, is it, year 4? I think I've got a little bit confused. So I need to go back and correct this now. Okay, let's try again. I think that is much better. That shows me that 12 divided by 912 equals 76. Now you could also write it like this. there are 4 ways there that you could write this answer, okay? It just has the numbers in a different order, okay? So have a go, try your best, show me what you know already about using the inverse to rewrite these number sentences. Okay, so you've had a really good go at the estimation work today, and I can't wait to see who the fastest person is going to be to tell me whether or not which statement is the odd one out from my starter. I also cannot wait to see the work that you are going to send in to me because you're all superstars at estimation, so I can't wait. Now, you will have had a go at doing your estimation. It is the last piece of work on estimation. Tomorrow we're going to move on to fractions and decimals. So this morning on Marvellous Me, I have already sent out a place value grid to mums and dads to help you when you come to have a go at decimal places, okay? I will also send out, if you need it, support on fractions as well. But you need to let me know if this is a resource that you need or would like, and I can email it to you, okay? Because if you're struggling on fractions or decimals, the place value grid that I was using last week, I can send out to you all. I can send out some help sheets on fractions as well, only if you feel like you really need them though, okay? So let me know and I can send them to you, no problems at all, okay? Now, before we end today's lesson, my challenge for the superstars that took me up on all the challenges that I've already been setting, okay? If you want to give this one a go, I'd really like to see what you come up with. So today's challenge is, what is 2059 rounded to the nearest 10, 100 and 1000? So I would think very carefully, think back to yesterday's lesson and have a look, what digit and place value do you need to look at to round to the nearest 10, the nearest 100 and the nearest 1000, okay? So give that one a really good go. I can't wait to see who does have a go at doing this. So please try your best and send it in to me. It's great to see who's been giving these challenges and starters a go, and I've been really impressed so far by the amount of children that have had a go. And if you are in school, try and do them, because I've seen you all doing your maths and your comprehension in school. I think you could have a go at these starters and these challenges as well, okay? So if you are in school, please give them a go, okay? Just to reflect very quickly on today's lesson, I want you to write down one thing that went well today. So I'm going to write one thing that I thought went well for me, and I'd like you all to have a go at doing the same, okay? So something that I've reflected on today is that I remembered to check my answers before I moved on to the next question. Okay, so I can't wait to see what you guys write down for your reflection. Give it a really good go, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.